Well, obviously, Jason, you decided on something and had a lot of success with it. What did you do?
I did probably the last thing I thought I would do. I read a lot of books and they kept bringing up multi-level marketing, network marketing. And I know people watching this video, oh, here we go. This is where all these things ultimately lead. And they're right, because as I investigated stuff, there's a lot of things on the internet and, well, really anywhere where people are advertising kind of in a home-based business type thing. And even a lot of the books I read kept repeating network marketing, multi-level marketing. The words are really synonymous to me. They're the same thing. People try to say that network marketing isn't multi-level marketing and multi-level marketing isn't, they're all the same thing. So multi-level marketing, network marketing, MLM. When I say any of those words, I mean them interchangeably. So yeah, I ran across that. And to be honest with you, when I was doing all these the reason why I know so much about why I didn't do real estate and why I didn't do internet like day trading on the internet and doing currency trading on a long-term basis, why I didn't buy a franchise, all those reasons was because I was really trying to talk myself into multi-level marketing. Because to be honest, when I first ran across it, things about it sounded really good. Like everything that I wanted in a business, that because I'd run a law firm but I didn't look at it because it just didn't seem professional. Anyone that I knew that did it, it was just like always this cheesy product from the jungle, or like even currently now, there's even people doing, I probably shouldn't say it because I'm going to piss people off, but there's a lot of dumb companies out there where they're doing a lot of stupid products. And the other thing is, it didn't seem like there was really real customers. It seemed like all about recruiting people, and it just didn't seem like a legitimate business to me. But I really was kind of forced to look at multi-level marketing seriously because everything else did not fit my criteria. I made rules. I wanted a business, I didn't want employees, and I wanted something that I could do from home. I didn't want all those headaches, because you got to understand, when I've run a big business before. Our law firm, $50,000 a month was break-even point every month. So you had to make $50,000 before you were thinking about making a profit. And then when you look around in a staff meeting, or worse yet, a Christmas party, and everyone working for you, including their families there, and there's over 50 people there that you realize are dependent on you, it's a lot of pressure. Not that I couldn't handle it, but I was like, do I want to handle this for the rest of my life? Is this what I want to do? And so the criteria I had set up for myself really forced me into multi-level marketing. And I think what I realized was, when I really started looking seriously at the business model was pure. It made a lot of sense. You didn't make money until somebody else could make money. The problem is, a lot of people in this industry have bastardized the whole business model. And when I researched it further, I realized the reason why a lot of people haven't had success in it is because a select few have taken advantage of a larger group, causing a negative impression of the overall business model. And I know I still deal with this today. People are around me sometimes for a couple of months, and they're like, they start to see like my life isn't normal. Like I don't say anything, but they start reading between the lines and they'll say, what do you do? And I tell them I do multi-level marketing. I'm in like a nutrition company. And they're like, you can see immediately, they're like, what? You? Like they had some vision that I was doing something else. Like I don't know what they think when they talk to me, but they think I'm doing something else. And the immediate reaction from people is, you're doing one of those things, or you're doing, and usually the second reaction is, I've never met anyone that's been successful at that. And so what I want to caution people is, if you've looked at multi-level marketing before, or worse yet, if you've done it before and you didn't have success, don't turn your back on this industry, because I almost did several times, and that probably would have been the worst thing I've done for myself. This is the best decision I ever made as far as choosing this business model. I'm not saying it was all, roses and chocolates. It was hard. but what business isn't hard? And the reality is, most businesses fail according to the IRS. It's just the reason why MLM has such a bad reputation is more people start MLM businesses because it's an attainable business to start for most people. Whereas starting a retail store, opening a franchise, not everyone has the financial ability to do that. So I hear about franchises all the time failing on people. I hear horror stories of people's homes being mortgaged out, being foreclosed on, all these things. But you don't hear those stories as often because opening a franchise isn't as common as some guy down the street that that you used to ride motorcycles with who's absolutely clueless on business. Great guy, makes a ton of money in say his career, but he's never run a business before and fails at MLM, and you look at him, maybe he's a lawyer or a doctor or somebody, and he's like, gosh, if he can't make it, then that industry there must be something wrong with it. And that's kind of where I was coming from until I really opened my mind and looked at all the facts. And what I found, there's actually companies in this business model that were publicly traded, that had been around for 20 years. And there was even one point where I thought this whole business model was illegal. And that was really faulty information because it actually is. There's been court cases years ago where the federal government went after companies. And by the way, franchises went to the same thing. Now franchises are looked at as that's definitely a business. And I think multi-level marketing is beginning to make that change. It's kind of a new age. People are starting to recognize it as a true business, where the problem is a lot of people, because of that, have tried it now because they no longer think it's something illegal. And what's ultimately happened now is a lot of people have tried it and they failed at it because they didn't have somebody like me to show them the right way to do it.
So, bottom line question, can people make money, like real money, and quit their jobs and eventually retire one day through MLM or network marketing?
Absolutely, but only if they do it the right way. And I'll just give you the one thing that has to happen, and I don't need to go into the plethora of all the other things that you got to do that I train my people to do, but the one thing that I think is missing, if you did multi-level marketing before and you didn't get a lot of customers and your whole focus was recruiting, and you really were not taught to get customers, I can promise you that's why people have a bad opinion of multi-level marketing, and that's probably why you didn't do well. If your company, or if you haven't done MLM, if you're looking at a company, if it doesn't pay you well for getting customers, then anything you just asked me, instead of saying absolutely you can get out of your job, I'll say there's no way. Because most people in MLM, they quit their jobs based on the glass house that they built. And I say glass house because their whole organization is a bunch of people that are recruited into their team, and they don't have any customers. So they really don't have any real stable people that are taking the product or service for the product or service. They're taking it because they're in the business. And that's another problem in this business model that people have an issue with. And so the answer to your question is absolutely, but really the number one thing, and there's some other things, but that number one thing is you got to have customers.